talking about how to preserve our agricultural heritage, our culture. And we need to have a lot more discussion by a Lebanon County, Pennsylvania native, John Water, who built the barn for his horse enterprises. I'm Dr. Robert Barr, President and founder of Agrarian Country, the new owner of the Star Barn. Enjoy these views of the Star Barn and the During the 1920s, it was converted to a dairy barn. In the mid-1960s, Route 283 was converted. Our goal is to restore the Star Barn to its original condition, but we realize it must have a state, and it's surrounded by residential and industrial development, all of its outbuildings.
Today, I am pleased to announce that the Star Barn complex has been sold to a nonprofit organization, Agrarian Country, who will preserve this important complex of buildings for future generations. The barn and its outbuildings will be carefully dismantled and moved to their new home as the centerpiece of an agricultural exhibition center. The Star Barn now has a new lease on life, and its new location and use will allow a whole new generation of Pennsylvanians to see the barn in an appropriate agricultural setting and one that's open to the public.
The siding will go into storage vans, the beams will go on low-bed tractor trailers, and everything will be carefully moved to its new location. Right now, I cannot announce. 2008, we were ready to reveal the location of the Star Barn's new home, gently rolling farmland along Interstate 81 in northern Lebanon County, just east of the Penn National Racetrack. These agricultural enterprises, educational programs, and tourism. Agrarian Country is dedicated to preserving a living history of our agricultural heritage, using the same methods that were used by the original builders in 1872, powered by oxen, mules, and draft horses. It's a big job, and we know how to do it, but we need your help.
This is a piece of Lebanon County history. One of the things that's in the Lebanon County Park and Recreation Plan is to build a greenway along this canal down to Star Creek, down to Susquehanna River, and tie into the canal and the Susquehanna River. And as the gravel bar builds up at the discharge, started to erode the foundation of the lot. So this year we did we got a permit to clean that out. It took 8 months to get the permit, it cost $6,000 for engineering, it took an hour and 40 minutes to do the work.
I'm the Natural Resource Supervisor for the South Central North Central Office in the Bureau of Recreation and Conservation, DCNR. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Mayor of Columbia, Mayor Leo Lutz. Let me just give you a few tidbits of his background. Currently, he is serving as the Mayor of Columbia, and he has been for 8 years. DCNR has been working with him in developing the Riverfront Park. And it's a very unique park, and there have been several funding partners that are here today. One of them is DEP, and also Fish and Boat and DCNR.
We'll use the mic today. This next half hour could be rather entertaining. This is the first time I ever made a PowerPoint, first time I ever did a PowerPoint, so I'm not sure what we're going to see here. Working on this River Park project, and so I had to take him to the hospital a couple times a week and to the doctors, and that's when my education in Columbia Boro really began. He was in his 80s, and we would talk a lot about the history of Columbia. And one day I was expressing to him, you know, we want to really do something, and we want to try to bring the community around. And my grandfather wasn't a well-educated guy, but he was kind of like Abe Lincoln. He was self-educated. He always, my whole life, I can remember him reading and studying and doing all this stuff. Formal education, he didn't have a lot of it. 45 or 46 years on the Pennsylvania Railroad. And then after he talked and I got involved in a few things one day, I said, you know what, I get it. I get it now. A sense of place, when you have something and you're talking to someone and you say, you know, that place, you know, it's that place, whether it be a river park or downtown or something, we're going to that place. And I said, I think I got it. And I think now most people in our community got it, because I have people come up to me and say, you know, all the plans you have, and I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to get it now. Go downtown, you meet someone you know, someone you went to school with, someone maybe you haven't seen for a while. But if you feel lonely, you go downtown and you can get to talk to somebody or whatever have you. But they're the latter. You see a little thing that's kind of almost shaped like a boat. That's a canoe and kayak area. We're going to have an area for motorized boats to go in, and an area and its own parking area for canoes and kayaks. Because we have this area right here at one time, it was a gas station. Then it became, and a few years back, one group of elected officials said, well, let's fix this thing up. They bought it. They bought the car lot. It was vacant. And through the macadam, they went and put a walkway. And then they kind of churned the macadam up and tried to plant some shrubbery in it. And the shrubbery obviously all died because there was no dirt there. You know. And then eventually the walk sunk because when they took the tanks out, they didn't backfill it right. And there was a void and it cracked. So a bunch of us got together and said, look, we need a town square. Let's build a town square. So we started building the town. Volunteers working there, starting to take a little shape. There's one of the guys mixing some mortar for, you know, where the fountain goes. We got the school kids to come in, and they planted, I think it's 1,100 tulip bulbs in there. And they loved it. And they take care of it, because when other kids go to walk into it, they say, don't go in there and mess that up. I planted them. Okay, what are you going to do? Well, let's build a gazebo. So they built a gazebo. They built it. And, you know, they built it. The guys in the Lions Club built it themselves. They didn't subcontract it out. They built it. And now we have events there. We have some weddings there. We have functions there. Band concerts in the summertime and all. So it gave a sense of place, okay, a sense of purpose. There's a purpose for that gazebo now. People say, let's go down to that place and listen to the band, okay? Kids walk to and from school. But Columbia Boro walks. You see where the sidewalk coming down just ends. And then here's this hill full of leaves and things. That's it across the street there. Didn't have a good before and after shot there. There's another wall with curb sidewalk and a retaining wall. Here's our downtown. This is our downtown starting to bloom a little bit. That's what happens. There's a mistake. I don't know where we'll get that back. But that's what you got to say. That's what you got to look at. Don't make a mistake. That's what you might be stuck in a beautiful downtown with buildings like this. There's a building that was a former department store. It's now called Taste of Styles. First floor is a deli. Basement, beautiful stone wall basement, is a banquet facility about the size of this room, maybe a little bigger than this room. And the other floor is loft apartments. Right next, who has the Susanna Wright home adjacent to this, purchased this property and restored it. It is now an architectural warehouse coming in off of Route 30. It's been an eyesore for years. Columbia Boro bought it. Said, this guy isn't going to do anything with it. Let's buy it. We stuck our necks out and we bought it. Almost hung ourselves because it took about 2 or 3 years. But finally, we got someone to purchase it, and they're in the process of purchasing it. And this is what it's going to be now. It's going to be called the Turkey Hill Experience. Turkey Hill is going to put the little building there on the left. It's going to be a convenience store, which is a little hard to see, but it's going to be all brick out of that courtyard in there. And then Turkey Hill is going to put an interactive, kind of like an interactive museum, like a Hershey's Chocolate World, whatever, you know, because you can't go in and watch Turkey Hill ice cream be made, but you can go in here and watch it. You can make your own ice cream and sundaes and things like that. But anyhow, take it from the bottom. Here's what you need to do. First thing, you need to have a comprehensive plan and a borough map to go along with it. You got to have that as a foundation. The next thing you need is your subdivision and land development ordinance. That's going to support that comprehensive plan. Then you need a zoning ordinance. that's going to support those two plans. And finally,